morning, good morning. See a good friend Abba here today. My scenery has changed. I didn't get to do what I wanted to do, so this is how I've got to get this one done. So I said, welcome everybody. I greet you on behalf of Her Imperial Majesty Empress Sheba Deborah III and my commanding officer, Executive Crown Minister Lady Marlene Sir, who is the Dean of the Life Skills Academy at the AKF. Now this is another bite-sized introduction to one of the courses. Course I want to talk about is the technology of study. I said just to go over again the benefits of these courses, or the reasons why I'm recommending these courses. And on the first instance, it's to elevate your thinking, how you approach your life, you know, structure your thoughts so that you understand your dynamics of your existence, and you want to limit the amount of mistakes that you make, really. Yeah, so we all make mistakes. It's not a crime as such. Well, some of them are crimes. Yeah, but yeah, we make mistakes, we falter, we fall on the ground, and it's our imperative now to get back up and to not make those mistakes again. So the purpose of the life skills is to help us to structure our thinking so that we make the least mistakes as possible. I mean, people who do these life skills, they still find themselves in a bit of quandary, little bother at times, but I'm sure the life skills will point them in the right direction to elevate from that state. So basically now, when you have structured yourself in that way, approaching life from that strategic level of thinking, that elevated level of thinking, what will come out is the humanitarian in you. And that humanitarian in you is going to see people in situations that you have been in, sometimes exactly the same, sometimes a little bit different, sometimes worse, sometimes not so bad. But that humanitarian in you now comes forward and says, I want to help this person get over their hurdle. And this is what the life skills brings out in you. And then you can do that in your family, you can do that in your community, you know. But what door is open for you now is a chance to work with a body of people who are dedicating themselves towards that, and that is the African Kingdoms Federation. So that seems like a threefold thing. You structure yourself, then that the humanitarian grows in you, so you want to help people. You help people in your immediate circumstances, and then if you're so inclined, you say, okay, I want to take this thing large scale, and so I want to go and work with the African Kingdoms Federation. And the basis for entry into the African Kingdoms Federation is completion of the life skills and a subsequent evaluation that you must demonstrate that this thing lives in you and you are able to apply it to your circumstances. And then, you know, it's not guaranteed, but more often than not, yes, there's a place there for you. So that's the purposes of the life skills. Now today's little bite size is about the technology of study. And as always, I won't go into all of it. And think I'd spend the time speaking about the initial part of it. And what this course says is, anything that you want to learn, you can learn it. But there is something that always is present that will block you from learning. And that blockage comes from your willingness to learn. I want to spend a little time on this willingness to learn, because then it forms the basis of everything else that shall come after in the course. So you can get this course at www.volunteerministers.org. Yeah, you can access that course, go through it, complete it, and get your certificate. Yeah, all the courses. Yeah, because you need to compile all your 19 certificates together and send them in, so that then you can be given your evaluation, and when you complete that, now that starts to form your file within the African Kingdoms Federation. Yeah. So your willingness to learn in regular language that speaks to your motivation. How much do you want to do this? And why would you say you want to learn it? Because some people approach a learning environment from the perspective that they already know what this thing is going to be about. Automatically there you see that that's a waste of time. You're saying you want to learn, but yet still you're saying you know everything about the thing. So your willingness to learn means that you have to get rid of the idea that you already know everything about the thing. And then now it will deal with the challenges that come along the way of learning. So for instance, your motivation, I mean, like, take for instance a doctor, and this is that higher end of the spectrum. Take for instance a doctor. His journey to becoming a doctor, it's not going to be a smooth one. And life is like that for everyone, no matter what they want to learn. So I could be applying for a job as a laborer on a building site. This is where the tools of my work is a broom and a shovel and no physical strength. But when you get on the building site, they're not just gonna allow you to just start sweep up. They're gonna tell you that you have to operate in an environment of safety. So now somebody now whose willingness to learn is challenged by the fact that he knows what he's gonna do. He says, okay, it's just sweep, me go sweep up the site. I'm just gonna sweep up the site. So I don't need to know. I know everything about sweeping up somewhere. Yeah, but you didn't know that you needed to do it through the lens of health and safety. It means therefore that if you're sweeping and the dust is rising up, you need to eliminate it, or not do it at all if the area is congested with other operatives on the site. And these things you have to know, and you have to be taught. So then if you come with the mindset that you already know it, you won't last, you won't be employed, because you'll resist the teaching. Oh yes, I know this, man. Oh, but why do we have to do this? So this is a key, crucial thing. So you started out and everything's going well, but then things start to go downhill a bit. You know, there's some challenges that come your way, and it impacts your level of motivation. So then your willingness to learn means that you will push on through those things that challenge you. And this is the things that I think it's imperative that we know this when we approach this topic about the technology of study. You can learn anything, but it all starts from your willingness to learn. And you must eradicate this thing where you think that you know everything about the thing before. Now you're gonna go and you do know some things, and you have to bear that in mind, that you do know some things. But you're in a learning environment, that means there are things that you don't know. And this is where it comes in, where you have to humble yourself and say, okay, you have to humble yourself and say, okay, there are things I don't know and I really need this, so I'm just gonna sit tight, close my mouth, open my ears. And that demonstrates your willingness to learn. So yes, I said, I think I'll leave it there, because I said it's a little bite-sized introduction to the course. They'll explore further on in the course, they'll explore barriers to study, you know, and other elements. But it's key for me to point out that if you're going to embark on a course of study, it must come from a point where you have a willingness to learn. And this willingness to learn is demonstrated by you removing the idea that you know everything about the thing. And, you know, you adjust. Bring to the table what you do know and use that as a foundation to build on, so that you can incorporate the other elements of the subject that you're studying. And I said, this is applicable to anything that you want to study. As I said at the beginning, the motivation to or the purpose of undertaking these life skills is to structure your thoughts in how you make your decisions in life. Then that in turn brings out the humanitarian in you. You will go now and try to help people in your community, in your family. And then now you perhaps reach a level where you say, okay, I've seen the impact of these life courses. I want to do it on a broader scale. And this is where the African Kingdoms Federation comes in. You complete your life skills, you send them in, they send you an evaluation, and then coupled with your life experiences like your CV or whatever, you put that in, and then they'll consider you, and if there's a place for you, you'll get it. But this is the power of the life skills, and this is the reason why I'm pushing it. I'm saying it does transform your thinking, it does give you a strategic outlook, it puts you in a position like this in your life. It puts you firmly in the driver's seat. It makes you in charge of your existence. This is what it does. So with that, I'll leave you. Told you, introduction to technology of study. It all stems from your willingness to learn, and your willingness to learn is demonstrated in the fact that you don't approach it thinking that you know everything, and that's it. Yeah, so I'm Abba. Nice to be with you again, and I'll take leave of you. Remind you that the African Kingdoms Federation is headed by Her Imperial Majesty Empress Sheba Deborah III, and the commanding officer of the Life Skills Academy is Executive Crown Minister for African Kingdom Affairs, Dean of the Life Skills Academy, Lady Marlene Sir. Yeah, goodbye, and hope to see you soon.